I'm not a doctor, and this is not medical advice. I'm a 74-year-old guy who decided to seriously study metabolism and molecular biology to better understand how the body works and how to support a healthy lifespan. This reflects my learning and experience. It's not a prescription. Nitric oxide beneath the surface, mouth, microbes, mitochondria, and metabolism. My first video introduced nitric oxide as a central regulator. This one explores what lies beneath the surface, where nitric oxide biology becomes deeply intertwined with microbes, mitochondria, and metabolic resilience. The mouth is not just a gateway for food. It is an active biochemical reactor. Certain oral bacteria convert dietary nitrate into nitrite, a critical step in the nitrate to nitric oxide pathway. Without these microbes, nitrate-rich foods lose much of their nitric oxide boosting potential. This means oral health practices directly affect vascular and metabolic health. Regular use of strong antiseptic mouthwashes can suppress these bacteria, reducing nitric oxide production and measurably impairing blood pressure regulation and insulin sensitivity. This is not theoretical. It has been demonstrated in controlled studies. Oral ecology matters. Saliva constantly transports oral microbes into the gut. This microbial exchange influences gut nitrate metabolism, immune signaling, and inflammatory tone. A disrupted oral microbiome does not stay localized. It propagates downstream. This helps explain why oral dysbiosis is associated with systemic inflammation, cardiovascular disease, and metabolic dysfunction. The nitrate to nitrite pathway isn't limited to the mouth and stomach. A subtle but important part occurs in the small intestine. After oral bacteria convert nitrate to nitrite in the mouth, nitrite can survive stomach acid and enter the small intestine. In the slightly less acidic environment of the small intestine, nitrite can be chemically converted to nitric oxide in the tissue or act locally to improve intestinal blood flow. Some of this absorbed nitrite also enters the bloodstream, providing a delayed, steady source of nitric oxide beyond the immediate bursts that occur in the mouth. The microbiome gut bacteria can further reduce nitrate to nitric oxide under low oxygen conditions, further complementing oral bacteria. The small intestine is not just a passive conduit. It's part of the nitrate to nitric oxide delivery system that sustains nitric oxide availability throughout the body. Nitric oxide directly interacts with mitochondria at physiological levels. It improves mitochondrial efficiency by optimizing oxygen utilization and regulating electron flow through the electron transport chain. It also acts as a signaling molecule that promotes mitochondrial biogenesis and metabolic flexibility. At excessive levels, nitric oxide can inhibit respiration and increase oxidative stress. The difference lies in dose, timing, and context. Nitric oxide derived from food and exercise tends to fall in the beneficial range. Exercise does not just increase nitric oxide globally, it localizes it. Active tissues receive more blood flow, more nitric oxide, and stronger mitochondrial signaling. This precision prevents systemic overload and ensures nitric oxide acts where it is useful rather than where it is harmful. This is another reason exercise is difficult to replicate with supplements. Uric acid deserves a second look. Beyond its role in gout, uric acid interferes with nitric oxide signaling at multiple levels. It increases oxidative stress, reduces endothelial nitric oxide availability, and promotes vascular stiffness. High uric acid shifts the body toward vasoconstriction, insulin resistance, and mitochondrial inefficiency, essentially the opposite of what nitric oxide supports. Hydration, reduced fructose load, improved insulin sensitivity, and regular movement all lower uric acid pressure while simultaneously improving nitric oxide signaling. Chronic inflammation alters nitric oxide balance. Inflammatory states can induce excessive nitric oxide production through immune pathways while simultaneously impairing endothelial nitric oxide signaling. This creates a misleading picture where nitric oxide is abundant but dysfunctional. Microbial imbalances, including fungal overgrowth, contribute to this distorted signaling environment. When nitric oxide is viewed in isolation, it becomes tempting to chase it with powders and pills. The goal is not maximal nitric oxide, but coherent nitric oxide. When viewed as part of an integrated system of oral ecology, vascular signaling, mitochondrial function, and metabolic health, the solution becomes simpler. Eat nitrate-rich plants. Move regularly. Hydrate adequately. Avoid unnecessarily sterilizing your mouth. Reduce metabolic stressors that raise uric acid. Nitric oxide is not a performance enhancer bolted onto the body. It is a language the body already speaks. The more clearly the system functions, the more fluently nitric oxide is expressed. But there are potential downsides of nitric oxide in mitochondria. Excess nitric oxide can impair mitochondrial function by over-inhibiting complex Roman IV of the electron transport chain, leading to energy deficits, lower energy production, and increased ROS production. Most people don't get too much nitric oxide from lifestyle factors. It's usually from disease processes or taking way too many nitric oxide boosting supplements. This is a really important topic that doesn't get enough attention. Some common nitric oxide boosting supplements are L-arginine, L-citrulline, beetroot supplements, and many pre-workout formulas stack multiple nitric oxide boosters. The common signs of excess supplementation are severe hypotension, dangerous blood pressure drops, persistent headaches from excessive vasodilation, GI distress, nausea, diarrhea, cramping especially with arginine, dizziness/fainting, poor blood pressure regulation, excessive fatigue, paradoxically, from mitochondrial overinhibition, poor exercise performance, despite taking performance supplements. Excess supplementation can occur with heart disease, low blood pressure, diabetes, and medication interactions, especially with blood pressure or erectile dysfunction drugs. The more is better mentality does not work here. Signs of adequate nitric oxide levels include warm hands and feet indicating good circulation, efficient muscle recovery after exercise, stable blood pressure, good energy levels, and mental clarity. Good sexual responsiveness is an indicator of vascular and no status both women and men. To recap what we have learned, in order to support nitric oxide production in the mouth, gut, and bloodstream, focus on nitrate-rich vegetables such as beets, spinach, arugula, celery, kale, and Swiss chard. Fruits and polyphenols protect nitric oxide. Eat pomegranates, berries, watermelon, and cantaloupe. Eat healthy fats to maintain endothelial function. Olive oil, nuts, omega-3s are all very good, and remember to stay hydrated. Water flushes uric acid, supports blood volume, and nitric oxide signaling. These simple, everyday choices reinforce the mechanisms we've explored and ensure that nitric oxide is available when and where your body needs it most.